Philips introduced 3 head shavers in 2025, the Head Shaver Pro 5000 series, 7000 series and 9000 series. I've already covered the 9000 series in the last video, and today our focus is on the 5000 series, the cheapest model. In this video I'm going to cover the pros and cons of the features and design based on my experience and my views. I will also do a demo shave. Although I've shaved this a good few times, I'll do a demo shave so you guys can see how it performs. And then I'll wrap it up with some sort of feedback. The suggested retail price of the 5000 series is around about $80 US. It's likely that the price is going to come down somewhat from that and more like $60 US. Also, we have to consider the replacement cutters, the replacement blade heads. Now these have to be replaced, Philips advises, around about every 6 months, and they cost around about $35 US to replace. 6 months is kind of around about the norm for head shavers. Everyone gets different amount of mileage based on their coarseness of hair and how frequent they use it. Philips offers a 2-year warranty on this, but you can also extend it by registering it as soon as possible and get a 5-year warranty. Now, warranty is a big thing with these head shavers because they do fault, head shavers do fault, and as long as we're with a company that will honour the warranty, then we're good to go. And this is something that I am really positive about with the Philips head shavers, because I know many people have faults with theirs, but to have a good warranty which Philips offers is a real plus. While the shape of this is designed to be held in the hand, kind of palm held design, that's what they call it, it's a little bit larger than some other head shavers. That's only if I compare it with head shavers like the Baldy Pro, the Remingtons, or the Flex series, the Freebird Flex series, not Pro. Yeah, that's a little bit smaller as well, but the Freebird Flex series. So that's only with comparing them, so it's a little bit larger, and somewhat like the, school shavers, and also similar to the school shavers is they're quite high. It has a lot more height to it than, let's take a look at a shaver like the Flex Series Pro. We'll see there that the Flex Series Pro is quite it's quite shorter. Now the advantage I think of having a less height on a shaver is we've kind of got like a ball in our hand, if that makes sense, and the manoeuvrability can feel somewhat easier. But that's no deal breaker to me, because this shaver has other advantages over them other shavers. While I mentioned the school shavers, as some of you may know or may not know, school shavers can be held and cupped in between the fingers like that, and it's really useful for shaving around the back of the head and up along the sides. That's their patented design. But also with the Philips, we can also use it the same way. So the only thing about this, the design of this, is that compared to the school shaver, is a school shaver, if we can see in the video there, it has these grooves there. So that kind of gives us a better seat in between with our fingers in between the head of the shaver and the blade head of the shaver. The Philips doesn't have that, but it doesn't seem to make that much difference. It still fits in the palm, in between the fingers well enough, and shaves around the back of the head and the top of the head, which I was showing a demo shave. A feature I like is that the head moves in all directions, so when we're shaving along various contours, the head will move along them contours and move along the shape of it better. It simply has 4 rotary blades there, 4 rotary cutters. That's enough cutters really. We do find some head shavers that have 7 cutters or 8 cutters, 7D, 8D. It's a bit of a sales gimmick really. 4 or 5 of these rotary shavers, for me, my experience has been plenty enough. In this top cap, we can pop that off easy enough. There's a little groove at the side here. We just pop the top cap off. And inside here we have a collection shaver. This is very useful for when we are for cleaning the shaver, and it collects most of the day, or a good bit of the debris inside there. Some gets collected inside the blade head, and some comes on our shirt, falls on our shirt a little bit, but a good portion of it gets collected in this hair collection chamber. Now these 4 rotary blades, they all flex inwards together, which is used for shaving along various contours and maintaining skin contact. But not only they flex together, each blade also flexes individually, so that also improves maintaining skin contact while we're shaving. The top section of the head has a matte finish. There's a matte finish there with some lines on it. Now this is to help with grip. I would like to see this improve and this to be a rubberized section. However, it does provide some grip. We get 60 minutes run time from this from a fully charged battery. It takes around about an hour to fully charge, and in my experience it was around about an hour. I didn't really time it that much, but I'd say around about an hour, and around about an hour for run time as well. With the 9000 series and the 7000 series, we get 90 minutes, you get an extra 30 minutes then. 60 minutes is still plenty enough in my view. Now LED indicators are not really a deal breaker. However, I do kind of like to have a segmented amount of LED lights showing how much charge that I have left, or even better, the percentage. But because this is a budget shaver, not surprised that all we get is, we don't get a light that lights whilst we're shaving. Once the battery starts running low, the light will light up to indicate that we need to recharge it, and the light will come on when we're charging it and then go off when it's fully charged. It does come with a handy travel lock, so if we press the power button for about 3 or 4 seconds, then this indicator light will flash to say that it's fully locked, so we can't power the shaver on. Hold it for another few seconds and that will release the travel lock. That's a useful feature. As it's fully waterproof, you do have the option of shaving wet with it as well. I have used it shaving wet with traditional shaving cream lathered up on my head, and I don't get much extra benefit like other dedicated head shavers I use. I don't get much benefit from wet shaving. However, if you want to use it wet shaving in the shower or with your favourite lubricant of choice, then it's good to go for that. Cleaning is pretty easy. What I usually do is I just pop the top cap off there, and I'll give this a blowout and a brush out inside there and inside the collection chamber. Then what I usually do is on the blade head, inside the blade head, I put a couple of drops of hand antibacterial soap within there, put a little splash of water on there, run the shaver for a good few seconds, 10 or 15 seconds, and then give it a good rinse. I'll check inside the collection chamber, because sometimes in the corners here hair can gather, or debris, but that's best to try and get out with the brush and that first. If not, just give it more of a rinse and a little bit of a wipe down there. What I'd also do before I dry it out is I give it a little bit of get some tissue and just dab it with tissue, give them a little bit of a shake, then lay them down to dry, and don't put it together until it's fully dried out. Another thing we can do with this shaver, which is useful, is in the center of the blade head, there's a cog and it has arrows on there, and if we turn the cog, it will take a retainer out. We take the retainer out, we can take each cutter out and clean them individually. Now this is really useful to do at least once a month, because inside these cutters, debris and gunk and stuff will collect there, and it will slow the shaver down, it will cause problems. So that's useful to do at least once a month. Don't have to do it after every shave, but once a month. I'll just mention as well, I don't wet clean the shaver after every shave. After the third, so every 3 shaves, I just dry clean it, blow it out, brush it out. After the 4th shave, then that's when I'll give it a wet clean. Then once a month, give them a deep clean by taking them cutters out, as I mentioned. We don't get the rinsing tub that we get with the 7000 series and 9000 series, which is worth mentioning. But that's about it for the features and designs. Let's grab myself a mirror and get a head shave on. So this is what we're starting with at the sides, and you'll see at the back area as well. This is what we're going to start with. Now it looks like I don't have any hair at all at the top. I do, it's very fine at the top, but I recede around the sides here, and that's one of the reasons, or the only reason why I use dedicated head shavers or shave my head, is because of getting this bald monkey look. So anyway, let's fire up the shaver and get going. Right, this is the one method of holding this shaver, which is normal, just palm held. Now you'll see that the blades maintain contact with the skin very well, the head scalp skin. You see there's no blade gap at all, there's no overlap on these sides, which is really positive. You'll also notice that this head movement, you won't see this or use it when we're using it in the cupping design. It's just not, it's just not going to move at all, is it? But when we're holding it into this method, then you'll see that when I go across there, you'll see that this head does slightly move. So yeah, that feature is useful then. This area is always tricky when using electric shavers, so you have to kind of, I kind of dig the blade in that area and it clears it up. It feels nice and comfortable. The blades are not rough at all. It's a nice comfortable shave. I'm pulling this taut because I get stubble left here, like a sandpaper type of feel. So if I pull my skin taut here, I'll be able to get a shade that little bit closer. Right, let's show you the back area. Now I have kind of lumps here on the back of my skull. This type of dedicated head shave does a great job of being able to go over them and be able to shave them, unlike smaller type of facial shavers that it takes a lot longer to shave there with them. You can see as well that this design means that I can come up the side of the head like that. It's not only useful for the back of the head, but also coming up these sides. Now keep in mind that level of hair growth is the maximum that I would shave on. As I stated, these are better used, any of these dedicated head shavers are best used shaving daily or on the second day of growth. Second day is kind of perfect for me. It'll get it done a lot quicker, the job done a lot quicker than what I've done here, usually a couple of minutes. But you know, I leave a bit of hair there so you kind of get a demonstration, because if I start with one day, you'll be like, you shaved nothing off, and I would be able to see or feel that. So this is just for demonstration purposes, really. Not a recommendation for how much hair you have on your head before you shave. Okay, that'll do, I think. Right, so the finish, let's show you around the sides, the difference on where I started with and around the back. Okay, so the end result, it's a fairly close shave. Now, like most dedicated head shavers, I still got a slight sandpapery feel this areas here, but not as much as some of the head shavers that I use. I guess about the best I can expect from one of these dedicated head shavers. Not perfect closeness, but pretty good. Now I've already done a side by side with the 5000 series and the 9000 series, and to be fair, to be honest, I didn't find much of a difference in the performance. However, don't hold me to that, because that was my first experience with comparing the two of those together. But I will retest them to make sure, and also do videos on that. So there'll be some comparisons coming up with these Philips head shavers. We're comparing them with each of the models, plus there'll be some comparisons with other head shavers like the school shavers. So the bottom line is it's a great head shaver in comparison to all other head shavers that I've used. And if you can pick one up for around about $65, UK pounds, 60 quid, 65 euros or something like that, then yeah, it's a good buy. And when I go and update the roundup page on my website shavingadvisor.com for 2026, the Head Shaver Pro Philips is definitely going to be on there, and possibly even tops. I'm going to do some comparison with the school shaver first, but there's a good potential for it to become my number one favourite shaver. And one of the reasons it's going to top a lot of them is because of Philips being a reliable brand, for the returns and their warranty availability, and them honouring that warranty. That makes a hell of a lot of difference with one of these devices. If you need any further information about this shaver, then do take a look at the link in the description below, as I have the full review on my website shavingadvisor.com as well. And in the description you'll also find a bunch of useful links, including a link to be able to go and purchase it. Well, that's about it guys. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.